Benvenuti sul mio canale e in questo video vedremo domande di inglese per concorso pubblico, in particolar modo per il concorso 1858 posti IMSS. Choose the alternative which the closest in meaning to the word in the brackets and which does not change the meaning of the sentence. The driver is sorry about the accident. He regrets what happened very much. La risposta I really regret what happened. Choose the alternative which is closest in making to the word in the brackets and which does not change the meaning of the sentence. The health atmosphere is penetrated by an infinitesimal portion of the sun heat. Risposta very small. Choose the alternative which is closest in meaning to the words in the square brackets and which does not change the meaning of the sentence. Building that new free fireplace has worn me out. Risposta has made me really tired. Choose the alternative which the closest in the making to the words to the square brackets and which does not change the meaning of sentence. The job I want to do is a very hard one. Risposta talk. Choose the alternative which is closest in meaning to the words or in the square brackets and which does not change in making of sentence. They are debt to the bank. Risposta of money. Just the alternative which the closest in making to the words or in square brackets and which does not change the making of the sentence. We have finally found the documents we've been looking for all day. Risposta I've been searching for. Choose the alternative, which means the same as the words in the square brackets. Tony is nearly sure that the ball hit the window. Risposta almost. Choose the alternative which means the same as the word in the square brackets. This was bound to happen someday. La risposta è destined to. Choose the alternative which best complete the following sentence. My new job is great. I have about the same puntini puntini of work as before, but I have puntini puntini stress and puntini puntini problems. La risposta è amount less fewer. Choose the answers which the closest meanings to the word in the square brackets and which does not change the meaning of following sentence. Your car is nearly as old as mine. La risposta è almost. Choose the answers which is meaning to the words in the bracket and which does not change the making of original sentence. You can be sure that we will be received with open arms when we get home. La risposta è we will be greeted warmly. Choose the answers which is closed in making to the words in the brackets and which does not change the meaning of the original sentence. You can be sure that we will be received with open arms when we get home. La risposta è we will be greeted warmly. Choose to the best answers for the question. When did you come home from work? La risposta è an hour ago. Choose the best sentence in each numbered item below. La risposta è the mission was well planned, so everything went smoothly. Choose the best sentence in each numbered item below. La risposta è the weapons lay in the field showing where the battle had taken place. Choose the correct answers to the following question. How long does it take to go from Stazione Centrale di Piazza Duomo by taxi? La risposta è about 15 minutes. Choose the correct means of surplus. La risposta è eccedenza. Choose the correct meaning of the phrase in brackets. After a day of negotiation, the ambassador still could not see it to AI. La risposta è did not agree. Choose the correct meaning phrases in brackets. I'm not too tired to cook tonight. Why don't we eat out? La risposta è have dinner in a restaurant. Choose the correct meaning to phrase in brackets. When the telephone salesman told me I could buy some correct tickets for only $10,000 if I gave him my credit card number. It seemed a little fishy to me, so I hung up the phone. La risposta è I thought the phone salesman was dishonest and I felt suspicious of him. Choose the correct meaning of the phrase in brackets. Wow, it's raining cats and dogs today. I wish I'd broke my umbrella. La risposta è It's raining heavily. Choose the correct meanings of the phrase in square brackets. Why didn't you tell your boss how you feel? You have no backbone. La risposta è you have no courage. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to acquire. La risposta è acquisire. Choose the correct meaning of verb to avoid. La risposta è evitare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to bake. La risposta è cuocere al forno. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to become. La risposta è divenire. Choose the meaning of verb to behave. La risposta è comportarsi. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to bloom. La risposta è fiorire. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to boast. La risposta è vantarsi. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to borrow. La risposta è prendere in prestito. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to bow. La risposta è inchinarsi. Choose the meaning verb to correct meaning of the verb to challenge. La risposta è sfidare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to chat. La risposta è chiacchierare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to complain. La risposta è lamentarsi. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to consent. La risposta è da consentire. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to damage. La risposta è danneggiare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to date. La risposta è uscire con. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to declare. Risposta è dichiarare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to delay. Risposta è posticipare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to delete. Risposta è cancellare. Delete. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to depart. Risposta è partire. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to destroy. Risposta è distruggere. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to develop. Risposta è sviluppare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to dig. Risposta è scavare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to disagree. Risposta è non essere d'accordo. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to discover. Risposta è scoprire. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to feed. Risposta è nutrire. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to fire. Risposta è licenziare. Choose the correct meaning of the verb to forget. Risposta è dimenticare. Il video di oggi termina qua. Per vedere altri miei video iscriviti al canale, attiva la campanella delle notifiche.